Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? It's Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. My name is Nick Parsons. This is the Betting Memo. This show gets you caught up to date with everything going on over at picksandparlays.net. I have on featured handicappers with featured free plays. I tell you about the hottest handicappers in the nation, about some of the best deals also going on over at Picks and Parlays. I also give you guys a Parsons best bet on every show, or at least I try to. I've been also giving out my Circa Millions and Super Contest picks. I entered the Betting Memo show into the two biggest NFL contests in the world out of Las Vegas, guys. And I've gone 17-3 with those picks over the last 2 weeks, guys. Make sure to tune in to Saturday's show to get the Week 6 picks going, guys. But before I get into the picks for today's show, I have in two of the elite handicappers over at Picks and Parlays in the online studio with me today, guys. Dan Kaiser and Sniper West. But before we get to those picks, guys, as I was saying, we're trying our best to rejuvenate the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel. So if you could please smash the like button, leave some comments, hit the bell icon, subscribe. All of those things really help out with the algorithm. They're very easy to do, but they definitely help us out. As I said, guys, I had in both Dan Kaiser and Sniper West to talk a little bit of football. So let's get into those interviews. I guess we will start with Dan Kaiser. Okay, guys, joining me in the online studio for Wednesday, one of two featured cappers here today, one of the experts over at Picks and Parlays. It's Dan Kaiser. And so, Dan, I see that you're 4-1 with your last 5 NFL picks. I know you're really starting to roll along now that the NFL and college football seasons are going. And I know that you have a few picks and big plays already posted. But before we get to any of those things, we have a big game to discuss here. It's a college football game on Saturday. It's at 12:45 Eastern, guys. It sees Washington State and Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss, it's a massive favorite here, 32.5-point favorite. The total is set at 58. I can't imagine that you're playing a side in this one, but how do you see this one going down?
Yeah, to be honest, if I did play a side, I'd probably lean Ole Miss in this one, despite how many points it is. But I'm looking at the total in this one. As you said, Washington State's 3-2 this season. Ole Miss comes in number 4 in the country. They're 5-0, and this is all despite losing their starting quarterback early in the season. Washington State has a new head coach in Jimmy Rogers. Occasionally, they show some good signs, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They show signs of being competitive, but they're just too inconsistent on both sides of the ball, and that's hurt them this year. Washington State's quarterback Jackson Potter is thrown for 604 yards. Only 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The rushing attacks led by Kirby Voorhees with 156 yards. And the thing is, like I said, so defense. In their 3 wins, obviously it was against lesser competition. They were very good at not allowing points. But in their 2 losses, they've given up 56 points in both those games. And now they're facing an explosive Ole Miss offense. And speaking of this Ole Miss offense, they had to go with a transfer quarterback in Trinidad Chambliss. Interesting. He's a transfer from Ferris State University, and just happens to be where my son goes to school now. And they've won the Division II National Championship 3 out of the last 4 years. They figured he played in front of 65,000 fans if you counted all his D2 games last year. And then combined, and then when he started this season for Ole Miss, he had to start. I think it was game 3. He was playing in front of 65,000 people. So it's been a big jump for him, right. But he's lived up to it. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards. He has 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the big thing is with him is he's a dual threat quarterback. He runs the ball out for him. He scores touchdowns on the ground, and it just gives them a new dimension I don't think they had with their old quarterback. Kevon Lacey leads the rushing attack. He's 445 yards, but he's got 8 touchdowns on the ground already this season. This offense scores a ton of points. The defense has been good. They're coming off a big win over LSU last week. And I think Washington State will try to slow this game down as best they can. I just don't think they'll be able to. The Ole Miss offense has been on a roll, as I said, under Chambliss. I think he'll just tear up this Washington State defense with his arm and his leg. And they just don't have the defense that even matches up to the teams that Chambliss has faced already. Ole Miss will score a lot of points, and I think it may come down to a meaningless touchdown. But I think Washington State will score enough to put this game over the number.
So, guys, Dan is 4-1 his last 5 NFL, and he's suggesting a play on the over in this one, guys. Consider that Weekend Warrior football pass with Dan this weekend, guys. For just $49, you can get all of Dan's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday picks and football picks, and I'll touch more on that special here shortly, guys. But Dan, why don't you let everyone know about some of your plans for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I've got a play up already. It's a 4% play. I got a play up in the college football already. I saw this line when it first came out. I really liked it, so I jumped on it. I hit a 5% play NFL last Sunday. I'm looking at a few for this big plays for this Sunday. And hockey starts. Hockey has started, so looking at hockey plays. I'm getting into baseball, coming off a 3-0 Monday. So, yeah, things are looking good here at Dan Kaiser Sports and look to continue to roll into the weekend.
Another great breakdown there, guys. Dan likes the over in Washington State and Ole Miss, guys. So, Dan, thanks for coming on and looking forward to having you on again next week.
Thank you.
There is always a little bit of business that I have to take care of on every Betting Memo show, guys. I have to tell you about some of the specials going on over at Picks and Parlays. There are a couple of really good ones going on right now, a short-term one and a long-term one. The most interesting one is called the Weekend Warrior Football Pass, and here's how that works. And so the Weekend Warrior Football Pass, guys, this is the short-term one. This is a great deal to test drive a handicapper on any weekend, because for $49, you get every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday football play from your selected expert, depending on which handicapper you choose, like myself, or maybe, say, a Sean Higgs, who puts out really big cards on those days. There really is great value to be had with these Weekend Warrior football passes, guys. Those are just $49, so head on over to Picks and Parlays to check that out. And if you're looking for an even better deal, a more long-term one, they have another deal going where if you buy 3 months, then you get 1 month for free. You get a 90-day all-access pass for $849, and then you get 30 extra days for free. So in total, you get 120 days for just $849, and that's just under $49 per week, or just over $7 per day. All right, guys, Wednesday's second featured capper is Sniper Wes, who is on several big runs right now, including in the UFC, where his picks remain among the best in the nation. And so, Wes, before we talk about some of your plans for the rest of the weekend, we have an NFL game to break down here on Thursday night, hopefully deliver a winner. So the game you're looking at, is the Thursday nighter. It's an NFC East divisional matchup. The Eagles are at the Giants. Philly is favored by 7 or 7.5 now. The total is at 40.5. How do you see this one going down?
Well, Nick, if you remember the Giants, they played the Chargers, and obviously that was an emotional win for them. And the Eagles, they're off a loss now. They lost to the Broncos, so they are going to want to bounce back big time here, and I think that is what they are going to do. If you remember, the Eagles all year long, they have struggled to put together a full game. It's either they play great in the first half, terrible in the second half, or, vice versa, right? They just can't put together 4 quarters of great football. I think this is the game where they put together a full 4 quarters of great football. Obviously no Malik Neighbors. That hurt Jackson Dart last week. The Giants, they turned the ball over 5 times in a row. That's got to be some sort of NFL record. I don't know if that's ever happened before. But, all the, A.J. Brown complaining about not getting the ball, Devonta Smith complaining about not getting the ball. I think they actually bust out here offensively. I think this is the game where Jalen Hurts throws the ball all over the field. Maybe he throws for, 250 yards, nothing crazy. But I think they're going to make it a point to get the wide receivers involved here, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And I like the Eagles here, man. I like them big. I think they win this by 10 points or more. It's a divisional contest. It's a primetime game. They want to make a statement. They're off a loss. It all adds up to me, man. And, that Eagles offensive line, very, very good line. Not as good as years past, to be honest with you, but it's still a really good offensive line. They can contain the Giants' defensive front, which is one of the best in the NFL. So I think this is the game where they are going to want to shut the press up, so to speak. And they have a big. And I think they win this by 10 or more. So I'm going to go Eagles. It's probably minus 7.5 now at this point. I still like it 7.5. If you can find 7, more power to you. But let's roll with Eagles fly here on Thursday night.
So, Wes, you always have plenty of picks posted every single day. Why don't you let everyone know your plans for the rest of the weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more excited, and I'm sure you up in your neck of the woods up there in Canada, that hockey is finally back, right? So we
Absolutely.
got pretty much every day of the week now, which is fantastic. WNBA playoffs are popping off. MLB playoffs are popping off. I have been on some pretty impressive runs. NFL was 5-3 last week. That's including, Thursday night too. So not the best week, but I am, up on the season on the NFL. College football has been okay, but UFC and CFL remain the stars of the show for me. I'm having fantastic seasons in those two sports. And, I think I'm going to bust out in the NFL this week, to be honest with you. I've had a couple of good weeks and then a couple of washes, but one of these weeks, I'm telling you, I'm going to go like 7-1 or something like that. And so it might be this week. So you might want to hop on board.
And guys, if you're going to do that, check out the Weekend Warrior Football Pass when you're checking out Sniper West over at Picks and Parlays. So Sniper, thanks as always for coming on. Looking forward to having you on next week as well.
Sayonara, my friend.
Guys, I will have a Parsons best bet on the Thursday night NFL game. I will also have my contest picks ready to go for the Saturday show, although I've already been looking at this week's games, and I have a strong feeling on a bunch of them. And I will also have 2 more handicappers in the studio tomorrow talking some more football, guys. Before you leave, don't forget to smash the like button, leave some comments, hit the bell icon, subscribe. Good luck with all of the games tonight. Good luck with the WNBA game tonight, guys. Remember, I did give out the Game 3 free play yesterday on yesterday's show. I like the Aces tonight. I forgot to mention that earlier, guys. I have the Aces +4. So there is a Parsons best bet going tonight, but I gave that out on yesterday's show. Until tomorrow, guys, again, good luck. Take care.